his debut, Jarno Uppbeat wins at Spa.
It's Martinez in Montreal. David beats Goliath.
It's a true underdog story. John Evans wins at Mexico.
And it's Super Sam Corby who takes the PlayStation Championship.
FRA Ronhard takes his first WOR Championship. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jake Benham is a two-time WOR champion.
Stop it! Around the outside operated line. Shadow is contact again. Ronhard is around.
Melanie, surely is going to win here at Abu Dhabi. He does.
15 races across 5 continents. From Brazil to Belgium and Bahrain to Britain. Soon this story starts. Across 3 platforms, hundreds will begin the quest. The quest in search of glory and the right to be called a WOR champion. Lights out, and we're racing in Season 12.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome for the final time in Season 12 to the Xbox Tier 1 Championship. We have, well, we've got the winner. The champion is Shadow. He won it outright last week at Silverstone. He's got the championship in the bag. Let's see what he can do tonight, but there's still plenty to play for. It's going to be an incredible one. If anything like the season's gone by, it will be phenomenal. I'm joined once again by Jish. I can't point my hand correctly. It's been, well, a hell of a half a season for us two as the commentary box. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's been your highlight of the season so far?
God, that's a tough one. Hello, everyone. Yeah, welcome back to WOR for the final time here in Season 12. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride. It seems rather fitting, you and me back in the box. Obviously, first round was with us. It's going to end with the last round, so quite exciting. But yeah, probably there's been so many notable races throughout the season. If you think Silverstone last week was fantastic, it's hard to pick out one spectating result. To be honest, it was all of them have just been absolutely fantastic in their every single way. We never know. This could be a very, very exciting one as well. So I think probably to pick one out, it's going to be very, very difficult. But I think Silverstone last week was very, very special. Obviously, Shadow getting up the championship, wrapped up, signed, sealed, and delivered. So coming into this race, he doesn't have any pressure, so can just drive off to the grid and do what he needs to do best to try and see what he can do to finish off the season high. But yeah, should be a fantastic race, and really looking forward to it for the final time on F1 2021 on Xbox.
Now, I don't think people can they can hear you, but I don't think they can hear me, which is rather frustrating with all that. But Joshua's definitely heard. Apparently, I was doubled. Okay. So what a way to start the final race and the final stream here in WR. Apparently, why can't they hear me too well? Let's do that a little bit. How about now? Is that all good? Let's turn Josh up a little bit.
Yes.
Sometimes that's okay. But they can hear me twice. Why can they hear me twice?
That's interesting. Double mic. That's weird. Not sure why that is. That's
BT development, can you hear me twice, or is it just a singular? Because if it's... Okay, double mic on me.
Yeah, that's... I'm not sure what's going on there. You're fine for me on my audio side, but I'm not sure what's going on. We can get that sorted as quickly as possible. But...
We'll keep trying. We'll keep trying. Hopefully this might be better. But obviously we've got a little bit of time. Obviously the Brazilian Grand Prix has got a little bit of time until that actually starts.
There might be you doubled the audio on your streaming software on Streamlabs. Is it like your audio twice?
No. So it might be something to do with the wavelength. Let's have a look. That's not right. That's not... We'll just, I suppose, while the cars are going out on track, Jish, I'll go over to you. Hopefully that I've figured it out on my side.
Yeah, right. Let's hope we can fix this right. I'll just have a look at the gameplay so far. Fern, the first man out on the session so far here in Brazil. Fully sunny for those, so quite a good experience. Fern coming into this one off the back of Silverstone. Did all right last time around, just scraping all those results. Obviously coming from Tier 2. He's just had those issues all the way, but hopefully he can try and prove himself once again tonight. Elite follows him around in third on the line with PSR Square, who just couldn't quite get that championship last week. Just a little bit too far back, and Shadow with that P2 got it in the end. But Fern's going to be the first one out to set a lap on the medium compound tyres. He rounds final couple of corners and up towards the lines to start his first flying lap in towards Brazil. DRS wide open for the Mexican driver. Stay tight to that right hand side line to get a good run in towards turn 1. The center rest is coming up 50 meters. We're going to be braking on a hard left hand, a little bit wide on medium compound tyres, but gets it all lines up as well. Cover the sole. Next up, DRS wide open as you head in towards the Cena de Largo on the left-hand side. Braking around the 50-meter board, a little bit of a kiss. Left-hand corner, a little bit of wrestling there from Fern. Seems to be okay. You head on towards a fast right-hander down in Trulli, and Adrian Suter having a little bit of a mix-up there in 2009, if you remember that far back. Having towards Sector 2, probably the the trickiest part of the circuit, on towards the curves and on towards the final right-hander and in towards Jun Shao on the left-hand side, fully flat first left one, and in towards Jun Shao. Lewis Hamilton winning the World Championship in 2008 on the last lap on the last corner here those many moons ago, and a long back straight up towards the line to go into boxes, and that is a big hit there for Fern, and that has spun him round on towards the curve, and that has ruined any chance of a good lap on the medium compound tyres. That's really going to hurt him. Square will follow him along. He's invalidated. Shadow, I believe that's Elite, to cross the line. First one across the line to a 7.224 in the mediums. That's a pretty decent lap. Hopefully Warder is back right now at the moment. Hopefully you are back.
I mean, WR thinks they can hear music. There's no music playing in the background. So unless there's something that I can't hear anything from your side, I'm hoping my side is a little bit less doubled now, guys. So please let me know. But everything should be all fine and dandy. Obviously, out on track is LCR Leopard. It's great to see Leopard still kicking about as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So Leopard coming back to this one. Shadow, though, just not to disappoint you there. Shadow 6.276 banker lap time on the soft compound tyres, and that is why he is the world champion. What a lap from Tom Manley there. Brilliant to see him up there. But yeah, Leopard, great to see him back as well in towards the tier. Obviously, one championship he has had. Great to see him back once again. So hopefully he can try and bring something to the table in McLaren tonight. Just about to start his first flying lap of the session. He heads towards the center S's. Hopefully he can try and award some action tonight. Few people exiting in towards the final corner. I think that is, not sure who that is. That might be Square, who's about to cross the line. Has crossed the line. Invalidated once again. Not what you want to see. Elite comes in towards the pits. Few yellow flags out around Jun Shao. Not sure who that is for. I think that's Smokey. And the two Ferraris going a little bit slowly just to prep their lap time. Smokey coming through out of his first flying lap. As we move over to Leopard, he's probably going to be the first one to cross the line. Next up as you head towards Sector 2, a long right-hander coming up. 30 degrees, 90 degrees. You want to be turning to the right-hander. Fully flat for the left-hander on the soft compound tyres. A little bit of a 50% throttle if you like on the very warm mediums. If you like, still a little bit tight as you head towards the final corner of Jin Shao and up towards server the boxes. DRS wide open for LCR Leopard. A tight line to the left-hander. I think he might be going again and across the line with 7.051 on the soft compound tyres. Not a bad banker lap time there from Leopard, to say the least. VSR Jack really on form this season. Well, the back end of the season with a 6.6 on his bankers, putting him in towards P2. Leopard will be going again. Can get away with going twice on the same set of compounder tyres. The tyre wear isn't too bad around here, so you can get away with 2 runs. Smokey about to cross the line. DRS wide open. You head up towards some of the boxes. And across the line comes the Mercedes driver, FRT Smokey. Across the line goes P3 with a 6.764. Of course, not called FRT, as they have merged with the PC side of Future Esports. FES, massive congratulations to all the boys and girls at FRT and Smokey. One of the futures of esports up towards the top 3. And that is looking quite dandy for the youngster. He puts it up into P3. Hopefully, Warders, Mike, still okay. I'll still check on you. Hopefully, it is okay, because it wouldn't be great if we were to do this alone. But hopefully, it's okay, Warder.
Hopefully. I mean, it is, especially after me complaining about doing a solo comms just before all this as well. But I'm going to go on board with WR Wilson. I'm going to mute the mics again just to make sure I can hear, just to not go through the chat, to keep them all in tune, and see what WR Wilson can do in the Mercedes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, flying towards the centre S's. Hop on the right, hop on the left, hop on another right as you head up towards Cover the Salt. DRS wide open as you head towards Decina del Lago. And I think the mic is fixed, according to Crispy and Luke, I think is the chat. So that's pretty good to say the least. Wilson heading up towards Sector 2, flying towards the right-hand on, towards the curbs. A little bit wide as you head up towards the curb. Seems fairly okay from the youngster, riding the lights and heading on towards the left. Been a fairly tidy lap so far into Sector 1 and Sector 2.
Looking pretty solid for the WR driver. It's amazing what turning it on and off can do, isn't it? Good old IT technique. But here comes, and actually I think there is something missing on the stream, to be fair. We are meant to be having something a little bit like that. So yeah, there we go. A little bit better on that front. And the chat is going wild with the W's. I say the chat, it is all just Ryan. But Wilson up into P2. 3/10 off Wilson, Shadow still, but a cracking time. And Alfa Romeo nearly goes into the back end of that Mercedes. Let's have a look at PSR Fern. I think he's on a lap. He is quite a way off his time, to be fair. Who else could we go on? M Racer. Let's give M Racer in the Williams a little bit of time. It looks purple in Sector 2. And this is some, he's a driver that a lot in the chat, a lot of the time, people want to see him racing and see how he does. This is going to be an interesting one to see how, that adds a lot of pressure to drivers. I know they don't often see the chats when it's live, but if they come back to it, there's a lot of pressure for those guys, isn't it?
Yeah, he seems to be a fan favourite. M Racer, of course, part of the WOR Academy, so one of your own if you like. So a lot of support for him, which is great to see in the chat. Obviously, it's hard to deliver, but getting that podium in Saudi Arabia definitely boosted his chances quite a bit. So he's about to cross the line. Can he beat F-Ray Elite to a 6.2? He can go up to P8, beating LCR Leopard to a 6.878. Not a bad time from M Racer, to say the least. Great to see him up there once again. Seems to be a fan favourite, of course. And I believe, I'm not sure who that was. That might have been Bobbitt's putting up in towards P7, the Alfa Romeo. I believe it was. That's Maloney just about to cross the line to start his first flying lap. Scather, I believe, is round in the final couple of sectors. He's got Square just to the right of him. Gets away nice and tidily as he head up towards Jin Shao. There's a Ferrari just in front. Hopefully gets out of the way, or just seems to be a little bit too far up the field. So shouldn't bother Scala in the slightest. Rounding Soviet the boxes, DRS wide open for the Alpines. He comes towards the line, the PSR driver, of course, across the line to do a 6.698. Puts in P7, not a bad lap time at all.
Not bad at all. Let's go on board with Mel. Let's see what he can do. He's currently P17 with a 1:08 time as he bundles his way through, I think, into turn 10 there. We've seen Hamilton and Alex Albon in real life crash there a few seasons ago. Obviously, Mercedes still has Hamilton, but the Red Bull does not have Albon anymore. And around turn 12 there for Mel and Wilson leaving the session. But through this final bit, it'll be interesting to see what Mel can do as he crosses the line. What can the Aston Martin driver put up? It's not just tight to the wall as I was expecting, but it is nearly 9/10 quicker than he'd set previously. Let's go on board with VSR Jack, see what he can do as he just finishes turn 4 and turn 5. It's a little bit of a tricky section that if you get it wrong, it costs people a lot. And he is looking like he's going very slowly, so let's not go on board with him. Let's go on board with a previous champion of LCR Leopard as he just rounds through the Senna S's into the Curva del Sol and then down the Reta Aposta.
Yeah, LCR Leopard, Season 5 champion, if I am correct. Probably not. My history is absolutely dreadful as he makes his way through Decina del Lago and up towards Sector 2, flying towards right-hander, taking it fairly cautiously. Just want to get a good run in as you head up towards Sector 2, probably the trickiest part of the circuit as you head on towards the curve, second gear action, up in towards 4th for that extra traction if you can. A little bit of a wobble on entry, but seems to be okay. As you head up towards Sector 3, then in towards Jun Shao when you can, up towards the curb, making just over the 50-metre board. Very, very wide there for Leopards. And that is definitely ruined as that time. But he's going to continue it either way. Can get away with 2 runs here. So that may be what he's going to be trying to do. DRS wide open. Does he take a short line to the line? No, he doesn't. He's going to try and go for one more. He's about 5/10 down on that lap. But he is going to try and go again. You can get away with 2 runs here at Brazil. The tyre wear isn't too bad, but just invalidating on the Senna S is cutting a little bit too much. He's going to have to go for one more with 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, let's see what FRT Smokey can do. And he's just slowed down, so that is not what I would have wanted to see. Placky or... Yeah, let's go with Placky. Placky is on our lap in the McLaren driver as he rounds through Ferradura, turn 7 and 8 now. Very late looking at that one, but he is trying his best to do something a little bit special here in the McLaren. He's the top one at the moment with Leopard languishing down in P14. As at the moment, as he crosses the sector time, he's slower than his last time, so it might not work out for him, but he could have gained a lot in the third sector. So what can the McLaren driver do as he turns through 14 and 15? Does he hug as much as he can? No, he doesn't. Well, he hugs even more than he can and goes into the pit lane for there. Square's thrown himself up into P2, Elite in P1. Look how close those two are as well. M Racer is just starting a lap time, and he's seeming like he's going to get a fair few bits of screen time today with this qualifying bit.
Yeah, there he is in towards the scene of the Lago, fairly nicely taken a little bit on towards the curb. FRT Finn nicely getting out of the way there, a little bit tasty to say the least as you head up towards the fast right-hander. A little bit of a double, if you like, as you enter the next right-hander up towards the left in towards Sector 2, third gear action, not trying to use 4th as Leopard did. Nicely taken, nevertheless a little bit wide off the curves. You have a little bit of a double lock-up as you enter in towards the corner, round in the final corner in towards Jun Shao. It's a 10th and a bit down on his time at the moment. That's going to hurt him quite a bit. He may be going to try and go for another one here. This is his first lap on his new soft compound tyre, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does go in for one more, but he is going to try, he's actually going to back out of that one altogether, and he's going to peel it in towards the pit lane, so may see him one more time, but that might be it for qualifying, but there's still a lot more time, so I reckon we'll still see him in this session.
I'm just seeing who else is going to be on a lap time. It looks like a Williams. It's not Skyler, is it? Skyler, he's into the pit, so it's one of the Red Bulls. Is it going to be Shadow? No, it's going to be Elite. That's the first one to set the final. Is it the final lap time? How much qualifying is? It's a constant yellow flag, so can't see how long left of qualifying is remaining, which is a bit frustrating. It seems like they should move that timing screen somewhere else. But here comes Elite then, just about to start his lap time down the start, finish straight for him. It's 3 minutes left of qualifying. And this is someone who's come in quite late into Season 12 and really, I want to say, set the world alight a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Elite has probably been the standout rookie so far, even in his short time in the tier. Has been fantastic all the way through. Been on pace with Shadow and Square all the time, but obviously made a few rash decisions and a few strategy calls that may have gone wrong, which have costed him a win. Hopefully he can try and get that P1 tonight. He's currently 23 thousandths up on his time to Sector 1, so he's looking good so far, but he's only separated by himself and Square by 2 thousandths of a second and 9 thousandths between his teammate of Shadow. So the whole top three is separated by 10 thousandths of a second, which is fantastic to see. He's he makes his way through the final couple of corners. Just under 10th and a half down at the moment. Massive moment out of the final corner. Should get away with it. Nevertheless, comes the Welsh Wizards of F-Ray Elite. DRS wide open, taking a lot of curb on the left-hand side. Across the final corner comes Elite. 6.114. That's pole position so far. 10th and a half improvement. What can Square and Shadow do? Shadow is about to cross the line. He's down quite a bit on his time, so he's going to go for one more. And it's all down to Shadow and Square for pole position right now.
Yeah, it looks like unfortunate for Wilson. He was trying to get back in, but there was someone else on the online in his position. So a bit frustrating for him, I'm sure, as he's probably going to stay in the pits. He's currently P4. No, scratch that. Venom has just taken P4 away from him. Let's see who else is on a possible lap. Is Placky now? He's just about to finish. He is. Yeah, but he's just about to finish his lap time. Across, hugging it as close as he can. Can he get up into a higher position? He can't. He's only he's agonisingly quicker. 0.016 quicker. I don't know who else is. Bobbitt's on a lap time. He is invalidated. Let's go on board with Bourbon Boy. Shadow gonna be setting a lap time. Is Shadow going really slowly in sector 2? I'm not 100% sure. Let's go on board with the Williams driver of Bourbon Boy and see what he can do in this remaining time.
Yeah, Shadow just invalidating there. Decina Delago taking a little bit too much curb. Bourbon Boy actually purple in sector 2 and actually flying so far in the session. Elite retires in the pit lane. He's happy with his time so far. It's only Square and Shadow that can really beat him. Square going slowly, trying to do one more installation up. I think Shadow might do the same. Here comes Bourbon Boy across the line, puts it into P4, 6.430 for the PSR driver. Not bad at all. Shadow invalidating with 30 seconds left to go. Still got time to go towards the line. Square, on the other hand, just making his way through in towards Jun Shao at the moment. It's going to be very, very tight for Square to get another lap in. Shadow will definitely get one more, and if he wants to, he is backing off, so I don't think he is going to try for one more. So Shadow will not finish higher than P3. Can Square make the lap in time? There's yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. I'm not sure when the checkered flag is coming out. Shadow has pitted. There it goes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Square makes it in with 2 seconds spare and will get one more run out of this. Brilliant to see that, right on the death for Square. Shadow retires in the pit lane, so he's happy with his time as Placky crosses the line. Cannot go any higher than P12. Rexo is on towards the grass, boots across the line now. P19, only 6.989. Will only get you P19. That is incredible.
Yeah, some incredible lap times coming in. 3/10 up on his lap is LCR Leopard as he's coming round the final corner, hugging as much as he can. And across the line for Leopard, it's going to be P7 for a previous champion there. What about Wilson? He's managed to get across in time. He's down on his lap time, though. He's going to be P9 as things stand. There's still a few people as Fern goes into P4, so 10th place for Wilson. Will he go any higher? Where is Square? Square is just behind as well. Wilson into the pits. Square is invalidated. Who else could very well be on a lap time? Jack has invalidated as well. Finn, he's down massively on his lap time. Smokey has invalidated, as has Rexro. So that is qualifying over and done with. An Elite, maybe, going, this is things to come for next season.
Yeah, absolutely. Pole position for Elite. Gets it in there at the nick of death. Square did cross the line, but his invalidated time wouldn't have been enough for pole position either way. But what a lap there from FRI Elite, getting pole position on the big stage by a 10th and a half to PSR Square, who's the runner-up of the season. What a lap there from FRI Elite, 6.114. That is fantastic to see from the Frenchman. Rookie, Welshman, sorry, what am I saying there? Between FRI Elite, what am I saying? 6.114, yeah, brilliant lap time from Elite. Get it up towards pole position. I believe that is his first pole position of the season. Not quite sure, but a fantastic effort from him. And maybe if he continues on to next season, which I'm probably sure he will, that is very, very encouraging from him.
Yeah, we could very well be seeing a champion in waiting in Elite. He's looking very strong, very, very composed as well. And looking at, Venom and Fern, some incredible lap times for guys that, wouldn't necessarily be in the Tier 1 list. Those guys have come in and done phenomenally there. And as we wait for what appears to be, is it PSR Moritz, going incredibly slowly, desperate to have some sort of stream time. I think he's 3-minute lap. So bless him, he's having some issues. But Elite doing a phenomenal lap time there as we will wait for the full timing screen to happen. Timer, there's only 14 seconds left of the timer remaining. It's not something I've seen very often in the past. Is this timing screen that how long you've got left to do. That's been a long time coming on that one. And, well, we're finally going to get this up and running and sorted. So let us pop over. As I say that, as I was desperate for the standings to come up quicker than it was. But it is Elite on pole in the Red Bull. The Alpine of Square alongside him. And the sister Red Bull of Shadow, the champion. I can't believe I'm saying that's the sister Red Bull behind his teammate Elite. In 4th place is Fern. In the 3rd row of the grid, we've got Bourbon Boy and Venom. PSL Moritz and Leopard in 7th and 8th respectively there. In 9th is Scather. 10th is Wilson. 11th is Jack. M-Racer in 12th. 13th to Placky. FLT Finn in 14th. Mel in 15th, 16th going to Bobbert, 17th is Smokey, Retro in 18th, 19th is Boots, and Viper serving his qualifying ban down in 20th place there. I wonder why that hasn't actually popped up. Okay, that's a bit confusing. We can't have nice things apparently on this stream. Jish, we can't get the screen back up to say that, you know, with our pictures. So definitely a terrible stream for us here tonight, and do apologise for the lack of everything in the background. But they're getting themselves ready straight away. And Jish, I mean, your thoughts on how this one's going to go?
Well, it should be a very, very fantastic one, especially from Elite getting pole position where it matters and finally getting up in towards that top 1 spot. Hopefully can try and try and break away to get this win. Obviously Shadow will definitely be eager to try and get the win as well to end this season on a high on Xbox. I know he's going to go to PC for the next season, so massive good luck to him on his final race on Xbox. I believe we're saying farewell to a few of these drivers to make their way to PC next season and maybe stopping all the way, but say goodbye to Shadow. But what a season he's had. Champion of the world. Finally got denied last season by FRA Ronha. Had a massive battle to the line last week between himself and Ronha, which was very hairy at times. Almost ended in an absolute collision. But thankfully nothing happened as Viper being interesting on the formation. Lappy eager to get going. But yeah, Elite looking fairly tasty so far. Square looking the same as well. Wanting to try and get the win as well, trying to make it 2 for 2, even a hat-trick of wins if he can after his win in France. So hat-trick of wins on for Square, but he's going to have a very hard day with Elite in front and Shadow in P3. It makes it a Red Bull sandwich.
Right, let's see if we can get this video working quickly on it, but it would be great to have it. It is WOR Season 12 ending here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It has been an epic season with highs and lows for many of the people on this grid. Shadow, or Tom Manley, in the end, claiming the title he narrowly missed out on in Season 11. The Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache is a perfect way to end the season. It is also the only race to host a freeway Tier 1 title finale in WOR, with CRG Lutt overturning a 11-point deficit to claim his first title in WOR. 36 laps off this 2.6 mile circuit then, 15 corners in total, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. It's a high downforce track with 2 DRS zones to aid in overtaking, and you'll be seeing a lot of action, I'm sure, tonight. Look at that, last season's champions on the list. There's Ronha, Donoso and Reese as well for this historic track. And well, unfortunately we're running out of time, so we're going to get to the grid as quickly as possible. And wow, this is going to be an absolute incredible race. I am certain of it. There we go. It's looking, well, the game says it's a 2-stop strategy. I don't fully believe that somehow, unless there is some sort of rain coming in at some point. But here comes the lights for the last time in Season 12 of WOR. And we go away. Finally, it's a good start there from Elite. And I think Fen has had a poor start. And out there, Shadow is desperately trying to go past his well, the challenger for the season, and he's managing to do it through the center S's. There's a lot of action in the background, and that's someone spinning off. It could very well be Venom. Square is trying to get it back past Shadow down the Retroposter, but there's nothing to it. And did you see what happened in the background there?
No, I did. I think Smokey's lost a few positions as well. They're all battling very, very, very hard out of the exit of the couple of corners, but it's Elite who does get a good start, but Shadow getting the better of Square. Up and towards turn one, very eager to get going as Venom starting to get up towards the pack, round the outside of his teammate VSR Jack after a poor start from his standards, and having a look on Wilson as well, can't really get it done, but an Elite with an elite start off the start of this race and getting up towards the lead, staying there as Shadow having a look as well down in towards the scene of Delago, nothing bearing, but Square also losing out in P3, but seems fairly civil so far as Rexo has actually had a moment out of the final corner and he's spent spinning rounds at the back, but at the starts of lap 2, it's Elite leads through from Shadow, from Square, Bourbon Boy, Firm, Moritz, Leopard, Scather, Wilson and Venom is your top 10 so far.
Viper up 6 places, and let's have a quick look at the tyres. Everyone outside of the top 10, other than Boots, started on the medium compound tyres. Retro really dropping down, looking back from Square at the moment, and Bourbon Boy looking very close. That's a great start from Bourbon Boy, to be fair. Doing a phenomenal job in the tier 1 for him, and looking back through it all, Skyther in 8th place, Wilson up a place as well. Venom, as you say, though, had an awful start and down 4 places.
Yeah, not a good start at all from a few of them concerned as well. So hopefully they can try and catch up as best as they can. You can see there Venom, losing 4 positions at the start. Square losing 1 as well. He's probably the biggest loser, Venom. And Maloney also dropping down 4 places after his poor start as we enter lap 3. Safety car, what am I saying? DRS now enabled after this lap, so Elite going to have to try and push a little bit harder to keep the world champion at bay. And Shadow getting the fast up of the Grand Prix, 9.359 added to his names. They head towards the center S's, and Shadow just getting eagerly closer, using a lot of his ERS, but so is Elite. Elite looking a little bit healthier on his ERS front, so trying to learn from his past mistakes, if you like, from using a little bit too much. There's a massive slide there from Elite out of Decino. Delago really pushing the car to its limits, and Shadow really catching up to his teammate, and obviously the championship is done, so he can try and be a little bit aggressive. Is Shadow in towards some of the corners, but he wants to try and end the season on a high. He doesn't really want to end it in towards the wall, but it's going to be a tasty fight between these two.
Yeah, definitely. Shadow is looking, well, to, like he's mentioned, end the season on a high. And Boots is moving himself up a position. And there's a bit of desperation for him to go on board. But I'm going to see what Shadow can do down into turn 1, into the center S's. Will Elite, how defensive will he go? We'll have to wait and see. Into turn 1, nothing for Shadow at the moment. Will he dart into the inside? He doesn't think of it at this moment in time. Let's go on board with Boots as he's battling his way back up the grid on those soft tyres, and I think he is past and nearly collects Viper just ahead of him as well, but he's able to brake in time because of the tyre difference that he's got at the moment. For Boots.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought you were going to speak a little while longer, but yeah, Boots moved there up towards P15, dispatching Finn for P16 as Elite and Shadow continue to push there. Shadow having a look down the inside, but turning off his DRS, just waiting a long game, waiting for Elite to make a mistake, and you can see how much he's learned as Elite, almost a full battery of ERS. You usually see him really down in towards the low 30s a few weeks ago, so it's great to see him learning from his mistakes, as we've just pointed out. But yeah, Shadow really looking to try and get the job done on Elite of his teammate. They've been teammates for quite a little bit. Obviously, Zach Coates was his teammate for the start of it. Elite has taken over. Here comes Shadow, wanting to get the job done in towards turn 1. Down the inside goes the world champion down the inside, and Shadow takes the lead. But for how much longer? Elite is going to try switchback, gets a better exit out of the walls of center S's. He's going to use a little bit of the ERS. Elite with the DRS, he's going to pull to the left-hand side. No, he's not. He's going to bide his time and wait a little while longer. Interesting tactics there from Elite, not going for it early on, as we usually use him to see. But Elite does Shadow does dispatch of Elite there, and up in towards turn 1, and up in towards the lead goes Shadow.
Yeah, great from Shadow there. Yeah, interesting strategy from Elite. Maybe we're seeing a little bit of a different sort of Elite than like you mentioned, a different Elite that we're used to. Someone definitely, he's increasing his lack of lack of ERS management. That's a lot better, like you mentioned as well. But it seems like he's struggling at a few corners. At the back end, just seeming to step out at, I think that was turns 12 and turn 10 that he had issues. But he is now back on the prowl to his teammate of Shadow. Look at this, the overspeed coming down the start-finish straight is huge, but he backs out.
Yeah, he does back out. Indeed, he learns from his mistakes, as I've been saying, not diving it down the inside, as he knows he'll have the DRS for the next back straight, and using it, is he going to be close enough is the question. Shadow, using a lot of his straight line speed, which he has done for the past couple of races, has been very, very good on his straight line speed, and once again, the gap just doesn't open as Recto retires from the session early there, so unfortunate to see his season end like that, but does have tier 2 tomorrow, so hopefully he'll have a better result next time around. But Shadow still plugging away, and Elite still plugging away on his teammate, as Square is starting to get involved in Born Boy, waiting in the wings maybe for a mistake to happen.
Yeah, there is a nice little train forming behind the two Red Bulls. It feels like it should be real life F1 with two drivers pulling away like they're doing, but at the moment, Shadow holding station. He's gone board back with Elite. He's closer than he was last lap. Willie realised that it isn't this is the overtaking opportunity into turn 1, but he's got to make sure he doesn't make a mistake through it all. He's made the move done nice and easy through the center S's, but look at Shadow hugging the back end of his car, and Willie make a move down the Retro Aposta into turn 4. It's only time will tell for Shadow. He's going quicker, he's getting quicker, but again, I think there was just a hold back on gears there. He just didn't want to make the move.
Yeah, he turned off his DRS fairly early, which has been a recurring theme in these battles throughout the season. Just waiting for the best time to pounce. Obviously, right here, right now is usually not a good time. Most of the time, not a good time to overtake. So Shadow just biding his time. Usually, you want to see him up in towards turn 1, which is usually the place to overtake. It seems to be. This race, which is quite interesting. Usually see a few moves down in towards the scene of the Lago, usually waits down there, but interesting that Shadow and Elite have been choosing to overtake there, but Elite getting up towards the lead, but Shadow will have another go at this, using his ERS quite well, and Elite doing very, very well indeed to keep him at bay, and definitely choosing the right pace at the right time. And here comes Shadow. Is he going to want to try something down towards turn 1? A little bit far back this time around, so may want to have a look in towards the scene of the Lago. Smokey and Finn have a little bit of battle for 18th and 17th. Here comes the Shadow once again with the DRS. Does he want to turn it off this time again, or does he want to make that move? He's having a look down that move, but once again just backing out as in the distance. There goes Leopard down the inside of Fern. Beautiful move there from the German genius, and there goes Scarlett to try and follow through, and his teammates side by side up in towards the right. That's going to be very, very tight between the two. Fern down the inside, and there is Scarlett around the outside, and Fern gets the job done as Boots has had a spin up towards the scene of the Lago. Unfortunate to see there, as the world champion of Tier 2. There is the spinner here in Tier 1, unfortunate to see, but it is Elite who stays put with Shadow in P2 and Square in P3.
Yeah, some crazy driving throughout there, and Leopard making a great move, and Skyther desperate to follow suit, but Firm was wise to it, and I think he's going to have another go as we see Shadow and Elite going side by side down the start-finish straight again. It looks like possibly the two Red Bull drivers are working together. Let's go back and have a look at these. And look at that. Fern still holding ground to the Alpine behind him, and Wilson just waiting in the wings. Will there be any other movement? I don't think there is at this moment in time, but Elite gets very, very close to the back end of his teammate. You kind of think that they might be a little bit worried about Square behind.
Yeah, I think they are just working towards each other. I think there's been a few words at the Red Bull camp, just trying to trying to work together. We haven't seen them work together fairly well this season. Elite and Shadow usually have fairly decent battles together, but tonight they're playing nice with each other, which is good to see. So, I think they just seem to be a little bit worried about Square behind. Obviously, about 3 to 4 tenths back, so there is a possibility that an overtake might come in the next few laps. Shadow starts to get away, but Elite a little bit too far back on this occasion. You may want to wait for the scene of Delago. DRS is enabled nevertheless as they come towards the back straight. Slipstream is enabled for Elite as he wants to have a look down the inside. And once again, a little bit too far back, so we may want to wait on another occasion in towards the center S, the left in towards the right, riding on towards the curve as best he can. DRS wide open. Shadow goes a little bit defensive on the exit. No avail. Nevertheless, as FRA Elite is going to try this. A little bit too far back this time around. He's going to have to wait a little while longer to get past his teammate.
Again, the Alpine of Scather in P8 as well, getting very close to the back end of Fern, but just nothing on this occasion. Square, there is nothing separating these top three. It is incredible to see, and you just wonder if they were here race in, race out, how this season would have gone. And obviously, with the likes of Alfie as well, and Ronhar, it would have been one hell of a season. I am certain of that. It was anyway, but you just take it to the next level when all those people are involved in that. And just in the background there, you see an unfortunate PSR Boots coming through Sector 1 and 2 while everyone else is flying off into the distance. Let's have a look from Square's point of view then as he hounds down the 2 Red Bulls in front of him. Elite's getting a very good run on Shadow. It looks like it's just going to be another swap over position between the 2 Red Bulls. There's a little bit deeper there from Elite than he probably would have liked, and this time around Shadow might actually have to take the position back from Elite because Square is all over the back of them as well. Elite goes a little bit defensive down the Retro-Aposta, but nothing to it. Shadow deactivates the DRS early again, and this is very much a theme we're seeing on lap 11 of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, we're seeing them just swap around every single lap, it seems, as Elite has been playing second best a few times this race, but seems to be okay as Boots does retire from the race. Unfortunate to see there, had a lot of pace, but couldn't quite with that spin. Just unfortunate to see, and he joins his teammate PSR Rexo on the sidelines. Unfortunate to see there, but we still stay locked to this battle. The Constructors champions, of course, of Red Bull, now leading a 1-2 with Square just behind. Second place goes to Alpine, I believe, of course. They come towards the back straight then. Shadow versus Elite, round number 12. Here we go then. Here, sirens the bell. Elite is going to try and go defenses, is he? No, he's not. Shadow's having a look down the inside. No, certain to not avail. As they come towards the center S's once again, through the left, hop on towards the right. Curbs are being used once again. Shadow on towards the back straight. DRS wide open. I'm not sure he's going to be that quite close enough this time around. As there goes Boost, not ghosting for some reason. That's going to hurt a lot. I'm not sure why Boots wasn't ghosted. That was very, very lucky that he was that far close in front. Otherwise, that would have been a humongous crash. But Elite and Shadow and all of them concerned doing well to get out of the way. But a little bit of a hairy moment there, but Elite still remains in the lead at lap 12.
Yeah, it looked like Shadow again purposely just let off the gas a little bit. Is that there in the background? Moritz and Bourbon Boy fighting away. Bourbon Boy holding station at the moment. The car looking like it's come straight off GTA San Andreas with the amount of hydraulics it's using at the moment. But Moritz, desperate, the Ferrari driver, trying to get through, as is LCR Leopard as well, trying to get past this Williams in P4, and they're slowly losing ground to the top 3. But look into the pits is Elite. Shadow goes through. Square is in the pits as well. Can we see an undercut happening? Up the inside is Moritz on Bourbon Boy, and the move is done for the Ferrari driver. Surely he goes deep through the center S's though, and Bourbon Boy's desperate to try and get the move back through, but it's just not there at the moment. They got a 2.3 second gap to the guys ahead, and Leopard is desperate to try and capitalise on either of those. And look at that up the inside. Surely not. He's going to try it on the Williams driver, holding station at the moment through turn 5 up into turn 6. Can he get the move done? The Williams driver's holding there for now though, And I'm not sure where Elite and Square are going to come out in the battle for all this, but there's battles all over the grid.
Yeah, that's a very, very brave move there from Leopard. Just couldn't quite work out in his favour as Bourbon Boy, I think, having a few connection issues with the way he's bouncing. Otherwise, he's got the F1 2022 mods enabled with how much porpoising that's on that Williams. But we'll have to continue. Nevertheless, Leopard really having a look down that inside, looking very, very racy with Scala just behind it. A little bit of contact made. Leopard having a massive snap of oversteer there, and lucky it didn't end in a massive collision as Racer's Shadow now pits. Leopard pits as well. Moritz comes into the pits as well. So Shadow has responded to his teammate with the undercut. Venom with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's the first one to get a penalty today, and Shadow just about to get served just out of his pit lane box, and I think Elite is going to be far in front here. Shadow is about to enter in towards turn 1. Out of the exit he comes. They're going to be very, very tight between the two. Elite out of the center S's. Here comes Shadow as well. It's going to be very, very tight, but Elite actually it's not going to be tight at all, as Shadow has come out way behind Elite. 1.4, almost 1.5 behind Elite, and Elite with that undercut has timed that very, very well. Square's not had a good outlap nevertheless either, and Elite has been bolted off into the distance. He's having a great Grand Prix so far as Elite, up into a P11 and into the net lead by 1.5 seconds.
That is a great outlap from FRA Elite. Statement of intent from the Red Bull driver, and this is the incredible thing we're going to see hopefully more often next season. Let's see Finn and Mel darting between chasers as well. Let's see who else can we go on board with VSR Jack. He's on a set of medium compound tyres as he battles away with Skyver in now for the lead of the race as Bourbon Boy goes into the pits. Shadow and Square. They really, I mean, I'm surprised by Square's outlap, to be fair. Elite, fastest man on the track. That is no surprise at all. Bourbon Boy dropping down probably to P13 by all of that said and done. Jack unable to attack the Alpine ahead of him too much.
Yeah, absolutely so. And obviously Jack the leader in this medium train as this battle for P6 really heating up between Smokey, Finn, Maloney and also Placky just waiting in the wings. And Maloney really running low and his ERS up towards about 8% alongside Finn on 33 and Smokey on 20. So they've been using quite a bit of their ERS, quite a lot. They come towards the left and in towards the right, and Smokey just getting a better drive so far. 6 cents up in front so far, but with the DRS it's going to help him. But Maloney looking a little bit racy as well as Venom gets a 3-second time penalty added to his time. That's 8 seconds of penalties for Venom. He's not having a good day of it so far. Fingers very, very wide. This is a good opportunity for Maloney to snatch some points here. Scala dives into the pit lane. Jack is your new race leader. Round the outside goes Maloney. Not going to happen this time. Finn with the DRS enabled on Smokey and just bolts away. That Ferrari's got so much straight line speed on him at the moment as Elite breaks into the 8s. 8.956 for the Red Bull driver to head up towards the S's into Sergio the boxes. DRS wide open as he head up towards the scene of Delago. DRS wide open once again. It's just a train so far. And Smokey, Finn and Maloney, this is going to hold on for a number of laps with 20 laps to go.
Yeah, it's incredible battle. Another back-end step out there from Finn. They are going to get passed by Elite very, very quickly. And let's have a quick look for good old Ryan there. And have a look at M Racer and his ERS usage there. There we go. That's that one over and done with. But it is technically the battle for the lead. Jack, M Racer, Viper, and Bobberts have made a cracking start. They are 5.5 seconds quicker or up the road than the other medium runners. These guys are running their own race and doing something a little bit different. They're not going to get picked off by Elite anytime soon, and they can. They could very well have a part to play at the end of this race. 20 laps remaining of this Brazilian Grand Prix, the finale of WOR Season 12. And, well, we've got a champion, but there's still plenty of other places up for grabs. Square has started to turn the heat up as Shadow gets past Elite. Shadow gets past Placky for P9 to go behind Elite. And look at that. Let's go back to that as how quick is these guys going to be in comparison to the race, well, the net race leader, which is Elite behind, and he is literally pushing this Aston Martin through Sector 2.
Yeah, he's stuck behind the traffic, if you like, is Elite, but look how much ERS he's been using. He's just been using way too much. He's down to 10% trying to battle with these guys. Down the inside he goes on Maloney as Shadow is really starting to catch up as well. And it's crucial. Elite passes this traffic and just harvests that much ERS so much quicker. Down the inside goes on Finn. Finn leaves in the room. No, that's not really his fight. And fair play to Finn getting out of the way. And Elite up in towards P6 and now can try and battle with Smokey. And I wonder if Finn and Maloney may try and help Elite here. So Shadow really getting tight to the back of these guys here. DRS is enabled for the both of them. Elite is going to try it on Smokey. Should be fairly easy from his point of view. Around the outside, easy as you like, goes the Welshman. As here they go then, 3 wide almost between the two. Maloney on the outside of Finn. Down the inside goes both of them. It's Shadow. Very, very tight between the two, and the world champion down the inside of one, round the outside of the other. Brilliant move there from the world champion. He's up in towards P7. Great move there as Venom retires in the pit lane as Shadow up into P7. A double move. Brilliant to see. Maloney's going to try it once again on Finn. End up in contact ever so slightly. They still end up to fight another day. Square's going to try this as well. Force on towards the grass. Maloney is having a look down the inside of Finn. Shadow and Square still going to fight this all the way around. Square, the biggest loser in this battle so far. 2 cars behind, now make it 1. All the way battling on this lap 18. Brilliant to see. And it's ended up in Elite in P5, Smokey P6, Shadow P7. Make that P7 for Smokey. It's battling everywhere you look. It's brilliant to see.
This is all over, and this is holding up Shadow massively in comparison to his teammate. And Elite is finally being able to get away from it. He's got that gap back, and Square is trying to get himself back into the swing of things. And finally, Smokey pulls to one side. But is he still going to let this battle through? And here comes Square. Is he going to do enough to get through on Smokey? He thinks about it. Smokey actually has to defend. Bobbits picks up a penalty for multiple warnings, and this could cost Square massively. But look at the tyre wear and the tyre slide from Smokey there. Square is up the inside, down the Retroposter, and up into P7. Agonisingly close to Shadow ahead, but they're still 5 seconds down the road from the leading pack, which is M-Racer, who's now got the lead of this race, and Jack, Viper, and Bobbers.
Yeah, absolutely so. There's almost a 4-man battle for the lead, and almost about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way back from P5, P6 down to P16, if you like, with a battle all the way through. There's battle at the top 4, and there's battle for the bottom 5. It's brilliant to see as Moritz having a look on Placky down the inside. There you go, as M-Racer continues to pull away. Fairly happy on these medium compounder tyres. I wouldn't be surprised they try and go to around maybe that 26, that 27, maybe even the latest 28 if they can on the amount of tyres they've been using. Obviously, Brazil fairly wealthy on the tyre wear limits as Finn and that's Placky, sorry, having a look down for the pit lane. So they're going to the soft compound tyres. They can make it those 16 laps as well. It's going to be a little bit tough near the end, but they will make it in time. But look at this, Square really catching up to Shadow now, and Shadow not really doing well to keep up with Elite of his teammate. 1.4, 1.3 is only gaining maybe about a 10th a lap here, which is not going to be enough at the moment, but Square really handing down that Red Bull.
Yeah, Square is, this is a Square we know, throwing in lap times out of nowhere and really being a pain in Shadow's arse. That is what Square season's been about, is just costing Shadow the championship until the penultimate round. He's done a phenomenal job at doing so as well. Very in his right mind in another season could very well have been a champion himself, and we shouldn't forget that Square has had a phenomenal season. They are both chasing down as Viper pits. So the first of the front 4 have pitted, and that's Viper. See what he can do. But here comes Square up the inside of Shadow into turn 1. And these two now are going to be battling away. I wonder if these two will work together to try and catch up with Elite, or whether they're just going to be battling tooth and nail. And Shadow's got a wonderful inside. His exit through the Senna S's or Curva del Sol was absolutely brilliant. And up into P5, back Shadow goes.
Yeah, Square and Shadow are really going to have to work together now if they want to catch up to Elite. They can't be battling all the way through and really, really hard racing. If they do, they just can't afford it. But they are starting to catch up to Elite, who's starting to drift off ever so slightly. He hasn't been harvesting a lot of ERS. He's only on 20% compared to Shadow, also on 20%. Square having the healthier so far, and about 45. So Square looking pretty decent on the ERS front as it stands, but it's all going to happen near the end. 1.1 is Shadow back at the moment. He's really been pushing these two. Shadow and Square have been working together to try and catch back up to Elite, who's using quite a bit as well. He's down to 5%. It's almost everything he's gone to is almost gone down the drain. So hopefully he harvests that back as much as he can. He's now down to 0. Bobbits comes in towards the pit lane. So that's up to P3 for Elite. Shadow, P4, Square, P5, and I wonder they start to battle a little bit more down this back straight. A little bit too far back is Square this time around, but Shadow seems to lose quite a bit in towards turn 1, you seem to think, as it was 1.4. He's now lost about 4 cents to Elite.
Yeah, Square not getting close again. Leopard, Wilson and Moritz all battling away in the P6, 7th and 8th position. No pits from M-Racer or Jack yet. They're still going away. Mel picked up a fastest lap a couple of laps ago and now has picked up a warning to go with it. In the background of this battle, you see Bourbon Boy, Scather and Fern all battling away, and Viper has a 2.5 second gap over his teammate when there was only a 0.5 gap before the pit lanes. This could be what Viper needs to get a good points scoring finish. He can, he can kind of taste it with those fresh softs at the moment. Let's go back to who should we go on board with? There's so much action we could really look at. Let's go back on board with Shad. No, let's go on board with. No, we can't go on board with those two because they're going into the pits. Let's stay on board with this battle for P6, 7, and 8, which will soon be 4, 5, and 6, I believe, with everything that is going to go down with the pit lanes as well. Be interesting to see where M-Racer will come out in comparison to Viper and whether Viper's got that undercut done perfectly on him. Viper now the fastest man and Fern picking up a penalty. So that is what kind of we expected. And I think Bobbits is going to get the undercut on him as well. Let's go on board with Bobbits quickly. And as he got the move done on the Williams driver of M-Racer, he has done, and he has jumped 2 places. Viper has jumped 2 places as well by that early pit stop.
Yeah, absolutely. So Viper having a great Grand Prix so far, from starting at the back of the field. Now finds himself in the points. He only one solitary point as well. Will make it 2 with the fastest lap. So he's having a fantastic Grand Prix so far is Viper. So doing very, very well for Alpha Romeo. But hopefully he can try and keep this up. But yeah, Bobbits getting the job done on M-Racer. He's going to have to try and fight a little bit harder now. Is M-Racer to try and catch up to Bobbits in this race, as Jack is really starting to catch up, obviously, on the fresher soft compounder tyres, so should be a fairly easier task, but it's going to be very, very tough. As in the background, up towards the lead, there goes Square on Shadow, and Square getting the job done, but Shadow is not going to have any of this. He's going to try and fight on the back straight. 10% DRS he's using. Does he want to try and use any more DRS in usage for Shadow? Does he want to have a look down the inside? Square a little bit too far back, and Square up and towards P2, and now he can try and battle away for this P1 spot. DRS in the background for M-Racer, Bobbits and Jack in this battle for P11. A little bit too far back are either of the 3, and they're still going to have to battle a little while longer. But Square up into P2 and then gets in front of Shadow.
There was a big battle with FRT Finn and Placky in the background at one stage as well. I thought I better go on board with that one because they were battling all the way through the second sector. I think Mel and FRT Smokey getting very close as well in that second sector. There is some incredible stuff going on at the moment. Shadow, can he do anything to Square this time, or will he hold back? It's looking like he'll hold back on this occasion. Neither of them really. They are slowly catching back up with Elite again, but we saw Elite turn the pressure back up just a bit later on. Let's go on board into the pits as Fern. I think he's had problems. And look at that. There's even more battling going on between Moritz, Leopard and Wilson. There is so much going on. Moritz finally... Well, I say finally. Sorry, Leopard finally getting past the Mercedes of Wilson, and he's got past Moritz as well. Moritz is falling down the order a little bit. He's side by side with the Mercedes of Wilson. Surely he's got to concede the position. He does. He's dropped 2 places in, well, just down the Retro Aposta alone. And what can Leopard do? Can he bring that gap down to the leaders?
Yeah, he's going to have to try his best as Leopard to try and catch up with Shadow if he can, but going to be a tough order as Finn has actually crashed out of Decina de Largo, and the full course safety car has been deployed, and this is going to be quite interesting for the medium runners, maybe for the soft ones as well. This is going to absolutely ruin their strategy. They've just pitted, and now they're going to have to cope with the medium runners coming in. But now, as you just say that, Leopard trying to catch up. He's done just that. They're double stacking at Red Bull. They're going to have to. 10 laps on the soft compound tyres. Is Finn having a big moment? They're all going to pit for the soft compound tyres. Shadow is really going to be held up in this one here. And I wonder if he's going to lose a few positions to the likes of Leopard and etc, etc, etc.
Viper is going to be leading this Grand Prix from M-Racer to Bobbert, surely, as they come down this. Jack is going to have a great position as well. FRA Elite. Wow, he's going to have fresh tyres. But these guys, this is going to be an absolute cracker to the finish. I saw the end of Finn. Well, that sounds harsh and horrible. But literally, I just saw him career into the wall. I saw how close he was to Placky when they came down in through turns, well, at the exit of turn 4. So I went on board and I just saw this Ferrari career into the wall. Such a shame for him. But Viper, crucially, has track position. He can rebuild that ARS. He's got 10 laps. Well, probably by the end of this, maybe 8 laps to defend for his life to take a victory.
Yeah, 10 laps or bust for Viper. He's decided to stay out as well as he has the fresher tyres to do so. M-Racer, Bobberts and Jack have all decided to stay out at the moment in time. So Viper, from the back of the grid, and after 26 laps, finds himself in the lead of the Grand Prix under the safety car. They're going to have about probably a 9-lap dash. I reckon he'll probably come in lap 27, so 9-8 laps dash to the end. Elite on fresh tyres alongside Square and everyone from 8th down. Maloney has gained a position on Shadow, so Shadow is really going to have to fight up to try and get past Maloney if he wants to try and grab this race win. He's only lost 1 position, but with that double stacking, it's going to be a very, very tough order for Shadow to try and catch up. Obviously, Maloney, one more car to overtake, and then he's got Square and Elite, Square, Elite, Jack, Bobberts, and Racer and Viper to deal with.
Wow. Chat, hit us up with who you think is going to take victory here now with how this has panned out. A late safety car has turned this race right around and on its head. And as I'm guessing, Luke said in the chat with the WOR account, it's Viper versus Elite round 2. So Viper picked up a qualifying ban last week. I wonder what would happen this time around. You know, there is a lot of tasty, juicy, whatever you want to call it, action on the line. And you know what? Viper will probably be out for blood. Knowing Viper as I do, he'll want to, you know, kind of put that to bed and just do a Bottas to who it may concern.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Obviously, Viper and Elite having a little bit of a 1-2 after the race after Silverstone, which is fair to say. Got NFA'd, I believe, in the stewarding, so everyone towards their cause. I think both drivers were to blame for their 2 separate incidences, but I think we're going to get ready. A safety car's not pulled in yet. There he is. Safety car now in the slap. A very late call. I thought it would be coming in a little bit. Well, I thought I'd have to call a little bit later, earlier, if I were to say. But coming in this slap, Viper will control the field towards the line. We're going to have 8-9 laps of pure flat-out racing. Everyone on fresh, soft compound tyres, apart from Maloney, Jack, Bobberts, M-Racer, and Viper, who won fairly fresh ones either way. There's a massive, massive cluster of cars up towards the line, and Viper, when is he going to go? He's going to have to catch this fairly early. M-Racer, there he goes. Viper dashing away, and he's had that start nailed to perfection. Almost a second clear of M-Racer as they get going once again. Here comes Elite having a look down the inside of Jack, and already Shadow in towards the slipstream of Maloney. There goes Shadow down the inside. It's very, very tight. Shadow getting the job done up in towards P7. Square on the back of Jack as Elite gets up into 4th, and Elite is having a look on Bobberts in towards P3. It's very, very tight, and Square all over the back of Jack as well. Shadow trying to catch up as well. They're almost going 3 wide between Maloney, Leopard, and Wilson. Leopard down the inside gets the job done, and Wilson is very, very tight already, but all the way seems fairly fair and fairly civilised. At the end, lap 28, after the safety car, it's all fair share, but Viper getting the lead and almost a second clear.
Shadow and Jack battling away through Sector 2. Oh my goodness, we are in for a treat to the end of this Grand Prix. This has been absolutely phenomenal. Elite past Bobberts as well in the foreground, looking on from this. Square doesn't want to get away, and Bobberts is gone. There's contact with Elite, I think, there through between turn 11, Magello and turn 12 there, and Bobbitt's race is gone. Oh my goodness, that is such a shame for him. He's got a long way to go from that. Viper still trying to pull away, but Square and Elite round 2. I think it looks like Square going around the outside into the center S's. Will he have the inside on the... Oh, I don't know if that's going to be enough for Square. And there's contact with Elite, and Elite's gone.
No, Elite's having such a good race. Fantastic race to say the least. Probably the best driver on this grid today. And has ended in a crash. Square, very aggressive, but it was all fair racing, just losing the car as the Red Bull. And in towards the wall goes Elite. Cannot believe what I've just seen. And Elite sent careering in towards the wall. Had such an unfortunate season, trying to turn in. That's full red hand damage. As Bobbers will probably say, karma in towards the helmet. It was probably a little bit interesting as well. Elite getting very aggressive, but Bobbers still holding on to that lead. A little bit of contact. The physics is not very good at this game, but Elite now down towards the field, and I wonder if he may retire after this one. And Elite, just so unfortunate. He was having such a great race, but now this falls into the hands between Square, Shadow, M-Racer and Viper to the lead.
Yeah, there's no DRS to assist either, so this is just pure pace alone for those guys. Going up the inside is Square on M-Racer, and M-Racer's being forced out wide a little bit and having to concede the position to Square, which is allowing Viper just to scamper off a little bit in the distance. But a defensive there from Square with M-Racer and Shadow desperately trying to get back with the DRS assisting on this occasion. And Square holding station now right behind, and look in the background, Bourbon Boy as well. But Viper has a fight on his hands. It's not going to be Viper versus Elite this time around. Bobbitt's and Elite into the pits. It's going to be Viper versus Square for the lead of this Grand Prix on lap 30 of 36.
Yes, 6 lap dash to the end. Viper, can he hold on is the question. The DRS will be activated for Square momentarily. It's going to be very, very tight till the end as Shadow all over the back of them. Race is actually going to try it around the outside, which switch to the inside in towards Jin Chao. Very, very tight. The Red Bull has to send it, gives them Racer the room, and Racer gives Shadow the room, and up towards the inside. Brilliant move there from Shadow. Gets up in towards the lead as Square. Having a look on Viper as well for P1. Shadow up into P3. Square now up into P2. Make that P1. Square takes the lead on lap 30 of 36. Make that 31 of 36. Up in towards the lead. Square up into P1. Viper in P2. Shadow in P3. But looking very, very racy. Is this pot top 13 at least? Everyone in contention for the win.
Yeah, this is crazy. Leopard having a great race as well, turning him back into things as well. Wilson in P7. Moritz is not out of it either. There are some great drives happening tonight. Lap 31 of 36 of the finale of Season 12 here in WOR. The Brazilian Grand Prix is a hell of a track to finish on. And up the inside is Wilson on VSR Jack. It's just not meant to be on this occasion. As there's Moritz trying to get through as well. But let's go on board with Wilson. Will he dart up the inside into turn 10? He won't. But Leopard tried on M-Racer, and you know what? There is a lot of feistiness about Leopard. We could see something incredible from him tonight as well. Let's go on board with Shadow as he's all over the back of Viper. Will Viper, will he be a participant in this and allowing Shadow to go off into to fight Square? I do not think that is going to be the case at all. Viper is going to fight inch and nail to get a podium here tonight.
Absolutely so, as in towards the battle for P6. Jack going very, very defensive, almost hitting Leopard there. Getting towards P6. Wilson having no answer, but Shadow looking probably very, very frustrated with how Viper is driving at the moment. Obviously, it's all a fair share, but it's getting a little bit heated with Viper's lack of pace, if you like, from Shadow standards. As there goes Moritz down the inside of Wilson. Very, very tight, but Moritz getting the job done. He's having a look at Jack as well. Brilliant overspeed there from Moritz around the outside in towards the right hand a little bit too much. And Jack just holds on for the time being, but very, very low on the ERS front is that Haas's Leopard all over the back of M-Racer as well. Yellow flags further back, and that is Scava having a little bit of a moment, lucky to not end in tears. Elite 7.268 race time. That is a fantastic lap from Elite to take that fastest lap. As there goes Shadow all over the back. Viper just so slow out of the exit, and already losing the DRS of Shadow on Square, but he gets the job done. DRS on Viper nevertheless, and Shadow is going to have to climb a mountain to try and catch up to Square, but Viper will have none of this. He's going to want to try and battle as well as they all make their way up towards the center. S's Leopard all over the back of them. Racer, 3 laps to go. This is going to be very, very tasty.
I mean, Square might have the upper hand here, but anything is possible, and WOR usually has another twist in the tail, and it could very well be the last lap it happens as well. LCR Leopard all over the back of M-Racer. He's trying to find a way past this double-decker Williams, which seems to be just holding station and darting up the inside into turn 8 there. And what a move by LCR Leopard. Well, he's rolling back the years, and Moritz is trying to get in on the action on the Williams as well. There's got to be room left for M-Racer. He doesn't allow it, but turn 10 could see the Ferrari driver again do another move on that Williams driver, M-Racer. M-Racer's slowly struggling. They're still side by side as they round through into Sector 3, and the Ferrari driver and Jack in the background trying to get involved as well. Is there an end to this? This is just continual. Moritz is desperate for a move. I don't think it's going to happen. Looking back on it as well, Wilson's trying to get back in on the action, but it's not going to happen. Into turn 1, will we see the Ferrari driver do anything? Not on this occasion, but Wilson's trying to go around the outside of Jack.
Yeah, brilliant racing all the way through, and Shadow has actually caught up to Square quite quickly, and he's in the DRS. Square is going to have to defend for his life here. Shadow turns off the DRS, not wanting to try and make a move this early, as Wilson all over the back of Jack, having a look down the inside, not quite close enough. Jack having a look at Moritz, a little bit of contact made, nothing doing, all fair share, a little bit of a bump, never hurt anyone. Scather with a 3-second time penalty. Moritz is desperate to try and get past Moritz, to try and get past M-Racer. For P5, Leopard doing very, very well, on course for a podium after a back into the tier, looking on towards a podium, maybe even a win if Shadow and Square come together. I doubt that will ever happen, but Viper in P3, Leopard in P4, looking for a podium, looking for redemption. Maybe all of the other. Viper from the back of the grid is my driver of the day so far. Currently on the P3. It could be a podium, but he's got Leopard much behind him as Shadow in the DRS Square using everything he can. Shadow turns it off. 2 laps of racing. This is going to be tight to the end.
This is incredible stuff, and up the inside goes Leopard on Viper. This is rolling back the years for Leopard. He's up into P3. He's got a podium. Can he get himself a little bit higher up? This is great viewing for those of you who know the LCR days of Leopard. But Shadow versus Square again. Shadow turns it off early and just lets it all hang loose there. And oh my goodness, what are we going to see in the final 2 laps here? Viper is in currently P4. He's driven a fantastic race considering everything going his way. I think Moritz has lost it. Moritz has lost it through turns 6 and 7 there. And I think he's going to retire on track, is he? Oh, please don't do that. There is so much going on. We don't want any major issues happening at the end. LCR Leopard closing up to the leaders. Oh, we're going to see a freeway battle and the final lap. Leopard is closing up to Shadow, who is closing up to Square down the start-finish straight.
Yeah, this is going to go to the end. Shadow is eager to get the job done. Final lap of the Xbox season, the final lap of F1 2021. Here we go. Shadow takes the lead on the last lap, and now Square will have the DRS going towards the back straight, in towards turn 1. He has to get a good exit here. Shadow gets a fantastic one. Square with a little bit of a wobble. This could fall into Shadow's favour. DRS wide open for Square. He needs this as much as he can. He needs as close as he can. Shadow really losing in the back, but Square not quite close enough. Leopard is now brought into this battle if anything goes wrong. Square really pushing away here. Shadow has to try something. He has to try and defend. Square has to dive at this opportunity. This is probably going to be his last chance as he wants to send it down the inside. A little bit too far back this time. It's going to be tight from here. There's 1 sector to go. This is going to be very, very interesting. Shadow in the lead. Square with only a handful of corners to go.
Shadow with a back-end swipe there as well. What can Square do on this final lap? We are just moments away from the finale of Season 12.
Ooh.
Square, Shadow's gone. What's happened to Shadow? He's just dropped it a little bit. Square, he's dropped it behind. Is that purposely to get the DRS, to get the win? Shadow has tried something a little bit different here. He's going to cross the line. It's going to be side by side between the two of them. It is going to be Shadow that wins from Square in the end. The champion is winning the final race of the season. He dropped it to allow Square to go past and pick up the DRS. Shadow knew what he was doing, but it's great to see Leopard, and look how close those guys finished at the end there, Jish.
Yeah, brilliant to see. Obviously, Shadow playing a little bit of a tactic he did in Imola. Square had to go for it as he had Leopard quite close behind. That would just cause a massive chain reaction. Shadow going back to the Imola days. So it ended a little bit better this time around. But Shadow is your race winner for the final time on Xbox on F1 2021. Brilliant to see. What a race we've had. Elite will come home in P13. So unfortunate for him. But Shadow, the champion, is your race winner here in Brazil. Ends the season off in a high. Interesting tactics, but that's what you have to do to win. He's done it well. He's done very, very smart. It was a photo finish to the line. I don't even know how close the gap was. It won't show me. But what a race that was. And it's Shadow who wins the final race on F1 2021 on Xbox.
Viper gets driver of the day from the last position he got there. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts on that very, very soon, Jish. But oh wow, what an absolute phenomenal end to the race. That safety car really did spice things up at the end. Just looking at it, Shadow did everything he needed to do this season. He's won it in the best way possible. As we just wait to see the podium celebrations just round out here, as we have a lovely bot in the chat chatting away. You gotta love it. Shadow wins then from Square and Leopard. Great to see Leopard on the podium. Viper in 4th place, 5th going to M Racer. Two good races from those two as well. Wilson in 6th, 7th going to Placky, 8th going to Smokey, 9th to Scather, and Mel rounding out the top 10. Bourbon Boy, I felt like he could have done more, but that safety car didn't help him at all. Elite with that issue down in 13th place, but a 107 for him. Wow. 14th going to Jack, a race of what could have been for him as well. Moritz in 15th after losing it, and non-finishes for Finn, Fern, Venom, Boots and Rexo. Let's just go back to this one. Oh wow, that was something special, wasn't it?
Absolutely, that was fantastic from all the way to the end, and the top two were separated by 6 thousandths of a second to the line. It's got so close. Belgium was very, very tight at the start, and it's ended very, very tight at the end as well. Brilliant to see. It's Shadow on the top step of the podium by 6 thousandths of a second to Square. He tried everything. Did Square could have been maybe a little bit more defensive, but he tried his best, and that is fantastic to see. Shadow wins the end of the season with Square in P2 and Leopard back again and gets the win. Well, gets on the podium. Brilliant to see him there. What a race from him. But yeah, it's Shadow, world champion, and winning at Brazil.
I'm just checking the chat to see if any of them are going to pop into the waiting room to have a chat. It would be great to see what everyone would. Well, the podium sitters. It would be great to have them on board just to have their thoughts on that one and how it all went down, because that was one hell of a final race of the season. I'm just trying to think back to last season when Ronha won it. I don't know which one's better. Both been incredible for WOR, and obviously both had the champions racing around in either season. But your drive for the day, because obviously, Elite was phenomenal. Shadow did everything he had to do to do great. Square was phenomenal as well. I mean, you had Viper come through, do what he needed to do. And even M Racer, we've got to give a shout out to him as well. Yeah,
absolutely. M Racer, all of them did very, very well in each of their ways. But I think my driver of the day will probably go to Viper from the back of the grid to finish where he did. I couldn't quite see where he finished in the end, but a fantastic drive he did from the back of the grid with his qualifying ban that he received the last race. But what a race he had from the back of the grid. He knew he had a mountain to climb, and obviously just near the back at the start, and got back with that safety car, which really brought him at the end for him. But yeah, fantastic to see him up there. But Shadow did well as well, getting that win. Obviously got it in interesting circumstances, but that's what you need to do to get the win. Obviously, sometimes that's what you got to do. Miller was a little bit interesting, a little bit tasty at times, but Brazil there's a little bit better to try and make that maneuver. But he got the win, 6 thousandths of a second in the end. Gets the championship. He moves on to PC as he ends his Xbox career with a win. Great to see him end it with a win, but hopefully he does very well. I'm sure he will. And yeah, he looks forward to a very lustrous career in F1 eSport.
Definitely looking that way, but we are going to get this man in, Shadow, the champion of Season 12. Let's get that man in and have a little chat with him. It's been an absolute phenomenal season for him, and someone is continually setting up some nice chats for the Discord. Anyway, Josh, I'm going to hand over to you for chatting with Tom Manley, or Shadow, for the podium interview.
Shadow, Tom Manley, your F1 WOR Tier 1 champion of the world. You've ended your Xbox season with a win at Brazil. That's got to be a very, very nice feeling.
Yeah, halfway to end the season. Obviously, a bit close at the end, but it worked somehow by 6 milliseconds. So, yeah, we'll take it. It was a difficult race, obviously. Traffic the whole time made it interesting, but collisions everywhere. But you've got to keep your head and choose the right overtakes, and I feel like I did that. And, yeah, I got rewarded in the end.
Absolutely. So, obviously, your move at the end, just near the end, was a little bit risky, obviously. Breaking a little bit early and trying to get the DRS. Obviously, you tried it at Imola. It worked, but it was a little bit riskier. Obviously, this was a little bit cleaner, if you like, to say the least. But were you thinking about doing that move near the end? Obviously, Square was a little bit far back. Obviously, you would have had the DRS. Do you think, even if he was going to do it, were you going to do it either way?
I didn't want to do it, but I just had an awful middle sector. So I saw him like 3/10 behind, and I knew he was going to get me. So I thought, just why not? And then, well, it was very close, but it worked. But yeah, I didn't plan on doing that.
Absolutely. So obviously, you had a great battle with your teammate as well, with Elite. Obviously, he's pushed you very, very hard this season. Do you have any words for him for next season if he does carry on Xbox?
I'm not sure if Joseph's carrying on as well, but those two like similar on pace. So if they're both here next season, that will be, another close championship between them two. Obviously, today he was very quick as well. I think raw pace-wise, he's very quick and he's good enough to win the championship. It's just, down to mistakes, like, for example, the crash. I haven't seen it back, but just incidents like that will cost you. So if you can get them out of his game, then he'll definitely be one to look for next season.
Absolutely. Well, massive congratulations on the title. You end your Xbox career in style with a win. Massive good luck to you on your PC venture, and congratulations on the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Shadow, before you go, just final words for me. Absolute phenomenal season, and I mean, there was obviously the low points, but what I don't want to say your high point, obviously winning the championship, but what has been your high points this season?
Honestly, I've not really been thinking about it. I've just kind of taken it one race at a time. Obviously, I want to win every race. Obviously, if I don't win, I'm disappointed in general, really. So it's just, I've had a lot of low moments in the season, but it's how you bounce back. So I wouldn't say there's really necessarily any high points. Obviously, quite a few wins, but just kind of consistent throughout the whole season, which is what you need.
Fantastic. Shadow, you've been an honourable champion. Thank you very much for coming in, and good luck to the PC side for future.
Thank you, guys.
Let's move on then and continue with the podium questions and speak to the man who finished second. It felt like it was 0.006 from the championship as well, and that is PSR Square. And over to you, Jish.
Joe, Square, that was so tight near the end. 6 thousandths you were separated by, and obviously so tight near the end. Did you think that you were going to get it? Do you think maybe if you had a little bit shorter lap, you probably would have got it in the end?
Well, it's just one of those. I didn't really expect Shadow to obviously just pull to the side and let me through, which obviously he can do, but it was just not really something that I was expecting him to do. Obviously, with it being the last race of the season, he'd already won the championship. But yeah, it's one of those. It's still been a good season. It was still a really good race from me, considering I've had hardly any practice and not been on the game since Wednesday. So yeah, I'm really happy with my pace overall, and obviously it's still a P2, so I can't really complain too much.
Absolutely. Well, you had a very, very interesting battle all the way with Elite as well. Ended in a spin, I think. I'm not sure who was ready to play, and obviously maybe a racing incident. How did you see the incident?
Well, if I'm honest, I haven't really looked at it. I don't know. Obviously, when you're racing, it all happens very quickly, so it's hard to really have an unbiased opinion, because obviously you're the one that's driving. So I'm not going to obviously say anything whose fault, whatever. all I know that it was very unfortunate that Elite ended up in the wall. But yeah, from my end, I left the room that I needed to. So yeah, I need to go through it before I come to any conclusions.
Yeah, definitely so. And obviously, you've had a fantastic season, getting that top 2 in the season. Will we see you on Xbox next season?
It all depends. I'm hopefully going to be going to PC, but it all depends on whether I can afford to upgrade my PC to be able to actually run the game. So, yeah, if I can get that done, then we'll be onto PC. But if not, then I'll be back on Xbox.
Absolutely. Well, wherever you see you, congratulations for the season, and hopefully next season, season 13, will be an absolute cracker wherever you go. So congratulations today. Well done on your P2, and good luck for next season.
Thank you very much.
Square, last one from me as well before you disappear. Congratulations. I mean, I'm going to ask you exactly the same question as I asked the champion Shadow. Obviously, there's been a few low moments where you've been involved in. You've not been involved in too many incidents, actually, thankfully for you. But you haven't been able to race some races. But your highlights, of course, if you of the season, if you can.
Well, my first win was obviously quite good at Austria. Obviously, I must have taken a month off the game because it was all just going wrong before that. And then we came back. I remember it was me, Loveland, and Freshkey. We were all in a party, and I think we were running 8th at the time. And we just were like, you know what? We're running quite low down in the points. We'll just gamble and do a huge undercut. And we ended up P1 in that race, and that was just. I just remember the celebrations that we had after it. It was really cool. So that was probably my best moment. But obviously, I think the whole season has just gone really well. After that Austria race, I was really consistently at the front, fighting with Shadow, Elite, Runhar, and the like. So, yeah, I think I can just be really proud of how much I've improved on this game, and especially towards the end of this season.
Congratulations and good luck. Hopefully, see you on the Xbox platform next season. I will be looking out to see how you perform, and if you go to PC, good luck as well.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Then lastly, we're going to get the man, I believe, who hasn't had a podium in a little while, and that is LCR Leopard. Jish, over to you again, my friend.
Leopard, it's great to see you back racing once again, and obviously getting that P3 was something special as well. Congratulations there. Were you did you think the podium was on the cards this race?
Not particularly, no. Yeah, I mean, I don't really take league racing as seriously as I used to. Obviously, I still enjoy it, hence why I'm still racing. But yeah, no, it's yeah, no, I wasn't expecting it at all. But well, I mean, not at all, but there was always like a little bit of belief there that from P8 maybe something could happen, and it did. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to quite pan out that way.
Yeah, absolutely. A brilliant race from you, to say the least. You had a very, very good battles as well. And obviously, it came home in P3 in the end. Brilliant to see. Can we see you on the grid next season, do you think?
Don't know. It's out of my hands due to other things going on in life at the moment. But I'd say an 80% chance I will be. But there is a small chance, depending on how things develop, that I unfortunately might not be able to. So if this is the last race, then it's a solid way to go out. But I feel like I'll be back.
Absolutely. Well, if it is your farewell, then a massive congratulations to you. It's great to see you on the podium once again, and good luck for your future careers. Hopefully we do see you next season, but we'll have to wait and see. But congratulations today, and good luck for the future.
Thank you very
Leopard,
much.
before you disappear as well, I've spent a lot of my early commentary career looking on and seeing LCR happen at the same time as my other league commentating on, and I've never actually seen you race before WOR, but I've seen clips. So it's great to see you finally do it, and you had some real passion about you today, especially after that safety car. It seemed like the old you from clips from before, obviously some incredible pace. Did you feel like something clicked after that safety car?
Yeah, it did. I mean, it makes it, easier when you're on fresh softs, and the drivers you're trying to overtake are on 6-7 lap more worn old softs, and it just it makes it fun to try and go through the field. And yeah, I definitely felt I had bit of an old spark back that I used to have, when coming to overtaking. That was, yeah, it was a lot of fun in that last stint.
And there was points when you were just as, I would say, just as quick as Shadow and Square, and obviously they came in at the same time as you. Do you count that as those two battling away in the grid between each other trying to get the win, or did you really think you had that pace and the bit between your teeth?
I was trying to obviously go as fast as I could, especially when I did get into third. Trying to get a bit closer, or as close as I could. But yeah, we were all three of us at the end were low on eras. I had slightly more. I noticed I was the red light for especially Shadow was appearing very early on the straights. Like it was basically up the entire first sector towards the end. But yeah, I was just a little bit too far behind. I didn't have enough myself to properly attack. So yeah, I think it was probably more. I think I was definitely quicker than I had been in previous races, but yeah, they're still levels above me. So yeah, their battling helped. Yeah, no, I felt quicker today than I have been before.
Fantastic. Leopard, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations on your podium finish as well. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Now I am well, I mean, Jish, where do we go from here? This has been one hell of a season. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I think we've had a great second half of the season. Obviously there was Beacon at the beginning of the season, but this is, yeah, I mean, I don't know which season for me out of the two I've done here at WR which is better, but there has been some phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure be able to share the mic with you this season. Obviously, we had a few bits in season 11 as well, so it's been a very, very decent journey. Obviously, big thank you all to Humdink Luke as well for giving us the opportunity to commentate over the best league on Xbox. So it's been an absolute privilege. So it's been such a great season. You had season 11 Ron getting the championship there, and you had season 12 Shadow getting it this time around, and obviously we'll have a new champion next season. So hopefully the baton carries over to whoever it may be, and hopefully we have some great races next season. Hopefully we'll never know who will be commentating the races. We're not sure yet, but whatever it is, I'm sure it will be a fantastic one. And yeah, let's hope for an absolutely cracking season for season 13 on the new game.
Yeah, we look forward to it, and I will do the obliterary or whatever. I can't even speak right now, but it's been phenomenal. I will thank Luke. Thank you so much for getting me involved in this. WR has been a massive breath of fresh air for me, and really reinvigorated me in the commentary world from just a personal point of view. So I really thank you for that. And Jish, yourself, as well as all the others who've come in throughout the season, it's been an absolute phenomenal experience with each and every one of you. There is some incredible commentators throughout the Xbox platform, and it's a special place to be right now when it comes to commentary, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. Really look forward to see what is next for myself. Obviously it's all down to WR and the powers that be there, so it'll be an interesting one nonetheless. But for now, there is still more WOR action throughout the week. The rest of the tiers are finishing off, and then we've got the PC tier back here, obviously on Sunday, with all the cracking action to be depicted by Ginger Andy, and it's going to be a phenomenal end to the season for them as well. I believe they've got 2 races to go. They've got Brazil and Mexico to go, Brazil and Spain, something like that. So 2 races for them. They are the special ones, of course. But for now, we do have to quickly make a move out of this one and finish, and keep tuned on Twitter, on social media, on the Discord, whatever, for the new season of WOR. Thank you and goodbye.